Hey everybody, Rockin Robbie Billups here, and welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers, and it's time for Robbie Rants, and it's that time of the week, it's the end of the week, beginning of a new one, time for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right, everybody, the weekly pop culture wrap-up, it's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, and this week there wasn't too much really, so there's not much to go over this week. But let's get into some stuff. Comic book wise, we have a lot of rumors and some announcements. First of all, Batman White Knight was announced from DC Comics. It's going to be a comic book by Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy was the artist of Scott Snyder's The Wake. He also wrote and drew the book from Vertigo, Punk Rock Jesus. Punk Rock Jesus was an amazing work of art. I love Sean Murphy's artwork. Recently also he's been doing Tokyo Ghost. That was a book he did an image with Rick Remender. I really like Sean Murphy's artwork. I'm not super excited about this book though, because the point of the book is that it's the Joker and Harley Quinn in good guy versions against an evil version of Batman. So it's a flip of that, right? However, they are promising to give us the Joker Harley love story that we have all wanted. Well, let me tell you this. There's one fan right here that did not want a Joker Harley love story. So I cannot say that I'm super excited about the story, but I am excited to see Sean Murphy return to the world of Gotham City, even if this is the version that we are getting. Sean Murphy's artwork is complex, intricate, detailed, amazing, rough, edgy. It's really, really good, and it totally fits Batman and his world of Gotham. Absolutely. So I'm excited that Sean Murphy's doing this, but we shall see. I do not believe in bad characters, only bad creators. So, there we go. I'm sure if Sean Murphy is capable, he will be able to pull out a good book with White Knight. Some rumors that we have coming from Marvel Legacy. Marvel hasn't really announced all of their Marvel Legacy writers and creative teams and stuff like that yet, because San Diego Comic-Con is coming up. They're saving a lot of stuff for that. In fact, the weekly pop culture wrap-up for that week, probably going to be a long one, but here are some rumors. First of all, Chip Zdarsky on Marvel 2-in-1. Marvel 2-in-1, I'm going to mention it again because this is the book that we need to hashtag save the FF with. You buy this book, we might get a Fantastic Four book back at some point one day in some incarnation. That's awesome. It was originally stated that maybe the rumor was that Brian Michael Bendis would be writing it, mostly because he's been kind of handling these characters in Infamous Iron Man. Now it seems like Chip Zdarsky is going to get it. The artist from Sex Criminals, the recent writer on, well, he did a Howard the Duck run, and he did Star-Lord. Before Star-Lord, this news would not have excited me at all. In fact, it would have made me really upset. I would not have been cool with it. Not the biggest Sex Criminals fan. Don't really like Howard the Duck, that run at all. I like the original Steve Gerber stuff for sure. But don't really, Chip Zdarsky never did anything to me, and except for that Star-Lord series that I just loved that came out this year. I thought that was an amazing book. So let's see what happens. So I'm down with that. Nick Spencer on SpiderMan. Nick Spencer's been writing Captain America for a long time. I first got acquainted with his work on the Image series Morning Glories, which I really did enjoy, though I never did finish it. I am eager to see how it finished. I should check that out one day. Nick Spencer on Spider-Man. First of all, that signifies the end of the Dan Slott run on Spidey, and that will make a lot of Spidey fans very happy. A lot of people have not liked what Dan Slott has done. I have loved what Dan Slott has done with Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man has been a consistently awesome book ever since the end of the Straczynski run and they started Brand New Day. I really, really believe that after One More Day and they started Brand New Day, the Spider-Man book has been very solid ever since then. It's had its ups and downs like every other story that's out there that's told in periodical little increments, but Dan Slott's done an amazing job. So first of all, Dan, if you are leaving Spider-Man, thank you for years of some of the best consistent Spider-Man stories I have ever been a part of. Thank you so much. Seriously, Dan Slott, you were amazing on Spider-Man. Nick Spencer, however, on Spider-Man. Nick Spencer's been doing Captain America lately. He's the guy that's doing Secret Empire right now. He kind of has a problem like our president does. He cannot stay off Twitter, cannot stay, just to his own. But aside from all that, I like Nick Spencer as a writer. I think he's good. He's a slow build. He's a slow burner. Secret Empire is very inconsistent for me right now. Him on Spidey, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think Spider-Man is the right book for Nick Spencer. Nick Spencer did a good run on kind of an Iron Man. He did the Iron Man 2.0, which was a War Machine book. It was actually really good. His Captain America work has been really, really good. Everything leading up to Secret Empire, especially the Sam Wilson stuff. His work on Sam Wilson Captain America has blown me away. But Nick Spencer on Spider-Man, I don't know how that... I don't know about that, guys. I really don't. I don't. I don't have an opinion on it yet because it doesn't seem like a good fit. So I'm eager to see what will happen. I'm sure that the artist teaming up with him is going to have a lot to do with the success of this book. However, I will say that Spider-Man benefits a lot from short form stories, like single issue stories, 2-issue stories, even 3-issue stories. The occasional 6-issue story is appropriate. Nick Spencer is definitely more of a long-term writer, and I don't know if that's going to fit with what I think Spidey needs. Spidey, I think, needs smaller stories in a larger overarching story, like what Dan Slott's doing right now, and it's going to culminate with the Fall of Parker. It's going to be great. Trust me. Rodney Barnes on the Falcon. Rodney Barnes is the creator of TV series like The Boondocks, Everybody Hates Chris. He's doing the Falcon series. Sam Wilson's finally getting his own series as the Falcon with a new sidekick, his own sidekick, the brand new Patriot. I'm game for this. I'm down. I've seen a little bit of The Boondocks and Everybody Hates Chris, and they were all right. It doesn't really tell me anything about what his Falcon work's going to be like, but I'm cool with Rodney Barnes being on the Falcon, especially because his last name is Barnes. So if your last name is Barnes, like, you know, Bucky Barnes, sure, you should write a Captain America-centric type-oriented book. And Falcon is a character associated with Captain America, especially since he was just Captain America. And the other rumor that we got coming out now is that Mark Waid will be ending his run on Avengers, and Jason Aaron and Esad Ribic, who are the creative team on Marvel Legacy, the one-shot coming in September. It's going to launch all this craziness after Secret Empire and during Generations. That they're going to be taking over an Avengers book, and Aaron and Ribic Avengers book would be amazing. They did the Thor God of Thunder run with like the God Butcher story and all that stuff, which was amazing. I would love to see their take on the Avengers. That's great. That's some news coming out. Rumors about some creative teams possibly. A lot of announcements from Marvel and DC and other companies coming at San Diego Comic-Con. One more comic book thing to get into real quick. Iron Man and Hulk, their legacy renumbering has been announced, and Marvel's going back to legacy numbering. They're adding up to all the previous issues, all the previous volumes, and they're coming up with the big number. And why are they doing it? Because the way they're functioning with it, aside from Hulk, which we'll get to that in a second, but they're all almost at big issues, right? So Iron Man's going to come back in legacy renumbering with 593 with the search for Tony Stark. So they are bringing Tony Stark back. We all knew it was happening, and that's cool. 593 issues. Hulk is going to come back originally, and Bleeding Cool. I got to give props out to bleedingcool.com. They are an amazing comic book website for sure. If you don't follow Bleeding Cool, you definitely should. Bleeding Cool pointed out that they had the Hulk legacy renumbering at 708 wrong, and so they changed it to 709 because they admitted they had it wrong, but they still have it wrong because they are including every single issue of Tales to Astonish, which makes no sense because Hulk didn't start into Tales of Astonish till like what, 56, 58, somewhere around there, right? And they left out his initial 6-issue Incredible Hulk series. What? They have no idea what they're doing with the Hulk renumbering. Iron Man's a little bit different, but they don't give Iron Man the Tales of Suspense. When he shared it with Captain America for a little bit, they don't give him that book. The only thing I can think of is because they gave the numbering to whatever character continued the numbering of the book. The way it worked back in, 1968, the way it worked was that Hulk and Submariner were both in Tales to Astonish, but when it was time to split them into their own books, Submariner got the new #1, and Hulk continued the numbering of Tales to Astonish. So that's basically what happened. Cap continued the numbering of Tales of Suspense. Iron Man started with a new #1. Doctor Strange continued the numbering from Strange Tales. Nick Fury started with a new #1. So maybe that's why they're tying it in, but Hulk didn't exist in that book at that time. I'm just going to say that real quick. Anyway, all that aside, one more thing to get to on comic book, kind of a little bit. Joan Lee, wife of Stan Lee, who we know as one of the architects behind the Marvel Universe, along with people like Steve Ditko and John Romita and, of course, Jack King Kirby. But Stan Lee's wife of over 70 years, I believe they were married, Joan Lee, has passed away this week. I'm very sad to hear that. They are both up there in age. They've lived long lives. I feel for Stan right now. I know he's going through some stuff. I feel bad for Stan and for Joan's family. So my thoughts are out with them. All of us here at PCP want to take a moment of silence in respect for Joan Lee, who influenced Stan Lee so much in his career and what he did. She is really one of the people behind the Marvel Universe, and no one's ever really thought about that too much until just recently. So just a moment of respect for Miss Joan Lee. So next week, we got the weekly comic book review coming up for July 12th. That's going to be very exciting. Some books I'm really looking forward to reading and reviewing that are coming out are going to be Bug #3 from DC Young Animal and the Allreds. I've been loving that book. A huge tribute to Jack Kirby. Dark Days, the casting comes out. The second one-shot of the lead-in preludes to Dark Knight's Metal, the big DC Batman Dark Multiverse thing coming out. So that's exciting to see. Centipede #1 from writer Max Bemis. That's right, the frontman from Say Anything is doing another comic book, and it's Centipede, based on the Atari game. The Sword Quest game, book was really, really good. Really looking forward to seeing Centipede #1. And from Marvel, Spider-Man 2 #1 comes out next week, where they finally will deliver on the promise of the other Miles Morales. Because when Spidey and Miles first met in Spider-Man, and Miles still existed in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, then Peter found out there was a corresponding Marvel in the 616 universe. This promises to finally tell us what's going on with that. Movies and TVs, seriously, not a lot of news this week. Let's get into it real quick. First of all, DC's next animated movie, they get Batman and Harley Quinn about to come out, but the next one after that will be Batman Gotham by Gaslight. That is amazing. That is a Mike Mignola book from back in the day, an Elseworlds tale. That's a Victorian era Batman tale where he is trying to figure out who Jack the Ripper is. And they're doing an animated film on it. That's awesome. Gotham by Gaslight is amazing. It's actually gone up in price a lot lately, especially in anticipation of this animated series. Check it out if you haven't already. Gotham by Gaslight is amazing. I will throw a link down below where you can get that on Amazon and help support PCP, and that's awesome. True Blood star Nelson Ellis passed away this week as well. He played Lafayette. I only ever watched the first season of True Blood, and I thought it was pretty good, but the best part to me was Lafayette, so I'm really sad to hear that. A moment of silence for Mr. Ellis. This week, the big movie news, of course, is Spidey, and the big TV news is actually Castlevania. Spider-Man Homecoming is out, the second highest opening in the Spider-Man franchise history. I am watching it mere hours from right now as I record this. PCP Movie Night review coming very, very soon, within days. John is watching it as we speak. Right now, as I record this, John Hammertime Holshoe is watching it. Castlevania came on Netflix. Season 1, Part 1, 4 episodes. It blew everybody away. I haven't watched it yet. It is written by Warren Ellis, so I am intrigued to check it out. I just might. We shall see. If I do, I will let you know what I think about it, but I hear very, very good things about it. Also, Umbrella Academy, the Gerard Way book from Dark Horse, which is a really, really good book, possibly coming out as a TV series for Netflix. That would be really, really groovy. Upcoming here at PCP, we got some cool podcasts coming up. Right now, you can find the Spider-Man podcast on our website, popculturephilosophers.com, or on iTunes and other Android services. We are there. Our RSS feed is there on our website for you to subscribe to. Spider-Man is out right now. Next one coming out, New York Movies. It was a fun show, and New York Movies signifies the beginning of our live podcast. We're not airing it live yet. We will get there eventually, but right now we are recording it live, building up to the point where we can now stream them live as we record them. So that's really cool. New York Movies is awesome. Drew Mattson, Mike Matthews, John Hammertime Holshoe, and myself. A great show. Really looking forward to you guys seeing and hearing that. Also this week, just reread Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. Why did I do that? Because our next podcast after New York Movies, Artificial Intelligence. And I reread it, and I haven't read it since high school, and Blade Runner totally overshadows that book in my head. I forgot a lot of stuff like the mercerism and all that stuff. Really eager to get into some of that stuff, and maybe 2018 will bring us a Philip K. Dick podcast. Maybe. The 100th episode of Robbie Rants, because this right here is number 99, is next. It's going to be out very, very soon. And it is a special Q&A because it also happens to correspond to the 2-year anniversary of Pop Culture Philosophers. That's right. We've been doing this for 2 years. Thank you guys so much. We got a Q&A special Robbie Rants number 100 2-year anniversary coming out very, very soon. It was fun to record. Lots of good questions. So that's awesome. Also, we got an announcement to make. I said that we had, at the expense of PCP Toys and retooling movie night, but we had some stuff coming out very, very soon. I can announce this right now. We are bringing back this fall, probably in late September, Super Mythology. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, when we originally started this channel, I started a show called Super Mythology. Didn't really have the right equipment to do it yet. Didn't really know so much what we were doing. Those episodes are still there. They will always be there, but I am redoing the initial episodes first. So expect a revisit on all of those topics. We did 5 episodes. Expect those 5 episodes revisited, redone, and then we're going to continue on with Superman, Sun Gods, and Messiahs. Finally. So that's cool. So, Super Mythology is coming back, and I'm super excited for that. There's other announcements, but I can't make them yet. But there's some really cool stuff coming up for year 3 of Pop Culture Philosophers. So thank you guys so much. Check out our podcast, blogs, and more at popculturephilosophers.com. Please do like, share, and subscribe this video. Appreciate everything, and let me know down below what was your favorite pop culture news of the week. Comment below about anything that I said or didn't say. That's awesome. Love talking to you guys about pop culture, comics, all that stuff down below. 100th episode, Q&A, 2-year anniversary coming very, very soon. Weekly comic book review right after that. Also, finally got a chance to reread Gerard Way's Doom Patrol. A video coming out about that soon as well. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Keep reading, learning, living, loving.